G'day guys, welcome to my Inspires Vita video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about NRL Round 16 recap preview for 2020 guys. Let's get started. So the first match of this game, we see the Eels going up against Rabbitohs. Now, the Rabbitohs played a really good game of football. They were gaining momentum, coming out firing in that match. I'll tell you one thing, though, the Rabbitohs played a really good game. I have never seen the Rabbitohs just come out firing, because last week they were beating the Manly Seagulls 56 points to 12, I believe. I'm not too sure about that scoreline, but I know it's 56 points to 12, or I'm not too sure, maybe 56-18 I'd say. But it was 38 points to 0, and I cannot believe the scoreline, which the Parramatta Eels didn't even score. They were playing shocking across the park, and the defence was alright. I give it 50% of that, but the Rabbitohs, they were playing absolutely strong across the park. They were running off so much ball into that attack, and yeah, I just cannot believe they played a really good game of football. So let's have a look at the tries anyways. What we have here is Corey Allen, Jackson Paulo, Cody Walker, Jaden Sewer, Campbell Graham scored 2 tries, and Adam Reynolds. And my player of the game went to number 6 from the Rabbitohs, Cody Walker. He had a really good game. Every time I see this guy play, he is absolutely amazing. Speed is absolutely wonderful, and every single time he gets the ball, he's just really dangerous, and he just runs with it. And I just think that 38 points to 0 in that match was absolutely great by the Rabbitohs, but I did tip the Eels by, I think, 10 points in that match. So I'm just going to have to say, Eels played really shocking in that game, and they're going to have to play a really good game in the next round anyway. The next game of that match, we see the Dragons going up against Titans. Now, 14 points to 10 was absolutely really good scoreline, but the Dragons were really close to that becoming effort of that match, but they were going to obviously win that game, but unfortunately they didn't, because they obviously lost by 4 points. But the Titans really did an absolute wonderful job that they really won this game, because I thought to myself that I thought the Dragons were going to win, because every single time Dragons or Eels or something like that, Titans usually lose every single time. But they didn't. Titans obviously won 14-10. Absolutely wonderful job. Cannot believe they obviously win this match by a long shot. But the only try that obviously went for the Dragons was Jacob Post, and the Titans' tries was obviously Philip Sami, Tyrone Peachey, and Jamal Fogarty. And my player of the game went to number 7 from the Titans, Jamal Fogarty. And that game was really on top of their effort, and I just thought they were playing a really good game of football. The Titans were just absolutely strong across the park, and they were really playing a good effort in that game of football. But Philip Sami was playing absolutely top notch, and every single time I see this guy play football for the Titans, he's just absolutely a wonderful player. But so is Jamal Fogarty. He is a wonderful player too. I reckon he's just a man for the job, and I reckon credit for him for making a really good effort to make a try for that effort. And yeah, well done to the Titans for making a really good win anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Roosters going up against the Broncos. Now, 58 points to 12 was absolutely really embarrassing loss by the Broncos. But for the Roosters, they were in red hot form. They were absolutely coming up on top, and they were just absolutely demolishing the Broncos. And the Roosters, I cannot believe in that game, was really spectacle, and they were absolutely in a good top-notch form. And every single time the Roosters play, they were having a bit of ups and downs with their squad, but due to that, the two Morris brothers were absolutely playing a wonderful game of football anyway. But let's have a look at their tries for the Broncos. So what we have here is Tony Staggs and Daniel Fafita. And for the Roosters tries is Sitili Tupouniua that scored 2 tries, Isaac Liu, James Tedesco, Josh Morris that scored 2 tries, Daniel Tupou scored 2 tries, Nat Butcher, and Brett Morris. And my player of the game went to number 3 from the Roosters, Josh Morris, and I just think he has a wonderful game out there. And every single time I really see this guy play his game of football, he's obviously wonderful. He's so fast, he's really skillful, and when he gets the ball, he's absolutely dangerous with his running attack and ability. But his continuity with the ball is absolutely amazing, and I just think credit to him for making a really good effort for the Roosters. The next game of that match, we see the Warriors going up against the Newcastle Knights. Now, 36 points to 6. That game was absolutely top-notch football by the Warriors. Absolutely splendid game, and the Warriors were just coming out on top and demolishing the Newcastle Knights. The Newcastle Knights were really poor in that game, and they can't just sit there and obviously do nothing, because letting the Warriors going into that try line wasn't a really good effort by the Knights. And when they were playing the game, obviously, I just think the only player that really stood out there was Stafford Toa. He was absolutely playing a wonderful game. But the only try was really stood out for the Newcastle Knights was Jamet Shibasaki. And for the Warriors, tries were Adam Pompey that scored 2 tries, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck scored 2 tries, George Jennings and Jazz Tafanga. And my player of the game went to number 2 from the Warriors, Adam Pompey. He's obviously having a wonderful game out there. And I just think that game was really a top-notch effort. And Adam Pompey is an absolutely good player, but he's a development player that obviously stand out for the Warriors. But it was definitely 36 points to 6 scoreline out there, and the Warriors were absolutely splendid team across the park, and I just think that game was absolutely a top-notch effort by the Warriors, and it's a really solid effort to hold the Knights off anyway, and I just think well done from the Warriors for making a really good win. The next game of this round, we see the Sharks going up against the Cowboys. Now, 28 points to 12. That game was absolutely really solid effort from the Sharks, and the Cowboys weren't playing a really good game of football, but their defense was alright. But when they get the ball, they always have so many opportunities there, but every single time in the 5th tackle, they always muck up with the ball, and they can't really do that if you want to win games of football. They have to be really solid if you want to obviously win a team. Like win a game, obviously, for sure. But the Cowboys need to do a really solid effort if they want to win games of football. But they obviously can't, because they obviously are a terrible team at the moment. But the only try was out there from the Cowboys was obviously number 2, Cole Felt, that scored 2 tries anyway. And let's have a look at the Sharks tries. So what we have here is Britton Nikora, Sione Katoa, Braden Hamanueli, Siasafa Talakai, and Connor Tracy. And my player of the game went to number 2 from the Cronulla Sharks, Sione Katoa. He is just absolutely having a wonderful game. Every single time I see this guy play, he is just wonderful out there, absolutely skillful, and he scores a number of tries every single time he plays a game of football. I really do think that he will have a wonderful career at the Sharks, and I just think he will, because if he has a really good game of football, I reckon he will definitely do some solid ground for their club. But yeah, well done from the Cronulla Sharks for making a really good win, 28 points to 12 anyway. The next game of this match, we see the Panthers going up against the West Tigers. Now, that game was a solid effort by the Panthers. They really did it solid. The West Tigers were absolutely shocking in that game, and I just cannot believe, though, they were really sloppy, and they were terrible across the park, and I just cannot believe that the West Tigers didn't really do a solid effort. I know that they are struggling, but they can't just obviously verse a different team, and then they were trying hard, but they lose the match. But the Panthers, though, when they obviously demolished the West Tigers, I really do think that they were playing a really solid game by the Panthers, and they obviously were. But the only try out there was David Norfoluma. But let's have a look at the Panthers tries anyway. So what we have here is Jerome Lulai, Liam Munn, Brian To'o, Stephen Crun, and Josh Mansour. And my player of the game, went to Jerome Luai. I reckon he has a wonderful game of football, and every single time I see this guy playing, obviously he just gets the ball and obviously runs with it. Sometimes he does score a couple of tries, but I think he only scores mainly 2 or 1 tries. But when he gets the ball, he's obviously dangerous and obviously skillful across the park, and I reckon he will do, with the Panthers, a solid job. But I reckon the Panthers obviously did really well out there, 30 points to 6, and that game was obviously a solid effort by the Panthers. The next game of that match, we see the Storm going up against the Manly Seagulls. Now, 30 points to 6 in that game was really solid, the same scoreline as Panthers and the West Tigers. But the Storm played a really good game of football, and they obviously had Jerome Hughes back. I think Cameron Munster, that was it. Cameron Smith, Nelson Asafa-Solomona, but they had Isaac Lumi, which he made a wonderful first grade debut. Congratulations on you for making a wonderful first grade debut. And I just think by the Manly Seagulls, though, they were really shocking across the park. I know that they are struggling. They obviously are losing a lot of players, such as Moses Sully, Dylan Walker, and Tom Travojevic, which I think to myself that they are struggling across the park, and they were, because the Storm obviously held them off, and they were really shocking across the park anyway. 30 points to 6 to scoreline, so I'm just going to have to say a really solid effort by the Melbourne Storm. The only try out there from the Manly Seagulls was Adam Fanua-Blake. And let's have a look at the Storm tries. So what we have here is Justin Olam, that scored 3 tries. Josh Adokar scored 2 tries, and Nelson Asafa-Solomona scored 1. And my player of the game went to number 5 from the Melbourne Storm, Josh Adokar. I just think he has a wonderful game, and every single time I see this guy play, he is so fast in the competition, and I just think he is a wonderful, skilled player out there for the Melbourne Storm. And last but certainly not least, we see the Raiders going up against the Bulldogs. 34 points to 20 in that game, and really solid effort by the Raiders. But in the first half in that game, the Raiders didn't do much because the Raiders didn't really have that potential out there, which the Bulldogs obviously did, and they came out firing in the first half. But then the Raiders in the second half really played a lot better in that game. I know that they are struggling so much for the Raiders, but still, they can still come out firing and obviously don't give up. But they obviously did, because it was 34 points, 20 for the scoreline. But let's have a look at the Bulldogs tries anyway. So what we have here is Dallin Watene-Selesniak, Raymond Fatala-Mariner, Josh Jackson, and Kieran Holland. Let's have a look at the Raiders tries anyway. So what we have here is Joseph Tarpany, Tom Starling scored 2 tries, Jack Wine scored 2 tries, and Hudson Young. And my player of the game went to Tom Starling, which he was absolutely really good across the park. He doesn't really score mainly a couple of tries, but I know that he has scored 2 tries, which I thought to myself, really solid effort by Tom Starling. He is a developing player, but he is a good quality player for the Raiders that really is interesting for the club. And I just think Tom Starling will have a wonderful career for the Raiders out there, which I reckon he will do a solid effort by the players, and I reckon that they will help him with his wonderful career. But really a solid effort by 2 tries from him. And yeah, player of the game was Tom Starling anyway. Thanks guys for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Till then, take care guys, stay safe and have a good one. Plus, let's get up to 200 subscribers. We're sitting on 171 anyway. Well done from the people out there that they are subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Really respect you guys out there. But let's get up to more subscribers. That I need to have 200 subscribers out there. But let's get up to that anyway, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, 200 subscribers.